Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here with our smallest and lightest member of the new Go Explore family. It's what we call the X203, which sounds like some kind of crazy military code name. But this thing here, it is absolutely not an original floor plan. This floor plan, every builder and their brother has a version of it. But why? Because for no bigger than it is, it's small, it's light, but it provides really nice counter space. It provides good entertainment. It provides a big open feeling in a small RV and surprisingly good storage. Now, ours certainly does all that same stuff. And the Go Explore series, I say ours because it is exclusive to us here at Bish's RV. But as a result, we got a chance to kind of tweak this thing up and tune it based on feedback from viewers like you in PBS terms. So some people wanted a queen bed, some people wanted a king. We found a way right in the middle with an Olympic queen bed, 66 by 80. We do have a heated belly on this thing, so it's an extended season weather package, not some magic Four Seasons BS promise that nobody can back up anyway. We included some basic factory solar on here. The ceiling's extra tall, which is nice. Carpetless floor flush rack and pinion slide. You folks said you prefer rack and pinion, so that's the route we wanted to go. And we got the vents out of the floor, so you don't got to worry about it. But even little things like some people don't like thermofoil countertops because too many of them aren't actually sealed on the bottom, so humidity and moisture can soak up underneath. We decided to outfit this with a sealed thermofoil counter system so that any moisture and humidity can't get to the counter. We added things like laundry solutions. We enhanced the area where you hook up your sewer stuff to make organizing all that easier. We added organizational methods to the front pass-through compartment. We have a monster storage situation going on under the bed. There's even like a little ice cooler wet bay sort of tray in the front pass-through compartment and a million other little things. That might be an exaggeration. There's a lot of other little things on this. This is a very fun floor plan, but we thought, what if instead of after somebody buys an RV, they have to go on Amazon and start getting all the widgets and whiz bangs to go with it. What if we just had them all ready to go right from the factory level and make your experience easier? That was what we tried to accomplish with this today. So why did we choose this floor plan? Well, it's very popular. It's a very popular layout. Again, this is not an original floor plan. That wasn't our goal. Our goal wasn't to recreate RVing from the ground up. What we wanted to do is take something that was already pretty good, but then actually get to apply owner feedback to make it even better. And why is that so dark over there? Oh, I know. Because I haven't hit the little touch activated extra lighting right there above this. So that looks much better. I was like, one of the things that we really focused on is making sure it was always very light and bright and well lit. And by the way, your ceiling cabin lighting actually is on dimmer switches. So if you want to dim that down, you can. I want to mention we are in what we're calling production preview model. I'm 99% sure that's supposed to be a theater seat, but they probably just had a hide-a-bed available to just kind of act as a placeholder for the time being. So although we are physically looking at a hide-a-bed today, pardon me, a theater seat will be the standard equipped seating arrangement in there. Now, this might look a little bit bigger. One, because the color contrast helps that, but two, because it actually is taller. It's 6'9" from floor to ceiling. Now, we're not the only ones that do that. Like Surveyor does a very similar interior height, but this is taller than a lot of other builders who make something like this. And that means taller cabinets, taller slide, more headroom in the shower. There's a lot of benefits that go with it. This is also, you might notice, all the windows opening for airflow. And if I get you right up here, we do have, if I can get my hands on it, blackout roller shades on these, so you can make sure you maintain privacy. But there's a bunch of little things, like somebody else has roller shades. That's not like, oh boy, that's not new. But just little handy function items all around the RV. We wanted this to be one of the most functional camping experiences. Again, right from the factory, outfitted with a bunch of solutions that normally you'd have to spend a bunch of extra money to get. That's kind of the thing we almost call it an unfair advantage on the Go Explore family of floor plans. Is if you look, there's some other RVs with similar layouts, sometimes with very similar pricing. But if you actually look at the execution, the objects, the things that you get for it, that's where we feel this is potentially a superior value for you. Like, including a dedicated like laundry solution. So that's a collapsible laundry basket that's mounted in a sliding track in the top of the front pass-through compartment. So now that it's today, you throw yesterday's clothes in there, you close the lid, you get them out of the way, and then after your trip, when you get back home, you just grab the basket and do your laundry. You're good to go. Now those headboard power outlets, those black outlets, they are inverter prepped first and foremost. Normally they'd have a white sticker on those, but secondly, they're going to get moved into a location that will be a little bit less intrusive. They're not going to be directly above your headboard. They're probably going to slide closer to that wardrobe tower. Now, if you notice, our storage around this bed, I feel is very, very good. So it's a fully enclosed storage cabinet above the bed, but notice how you don't have to juggle open the cabinet doors, and that we didn't put like a dead cheap pocket, just like a panel enclosing the middle of it. If you look at a lot of RV brands, a lot of RV brands will do that to save the cost of one cabinet door. And it makes getting to your storage annoying because now you have to crawl in the bed and reach around the cabinet like you're giving an elephant an enema, and that sucks. And we wanted to put struts on this stuff to hold it for you, and it's all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry, hardwood cabinet doors. A lot of the same things that you'll find from a lot of other brands we've done here, but we're doing it consistently across the board. Some brands do it sometimes, and some brands don't. Some people like hanging closet storage. Some people like dresser storage. We gave you the ability to choose what you want, and with that removable shelf. Now down here, there's no other options. So if you don't like this, I do apologize. It might mean it's not the right RV for you. But that is a 66 by 80 Olympic queen bed. Funny thing is, a lot of manufacturers are trying to call this a king. It's not. It is quite literally an Olympic queen bed. And the reason I think that's important is Olympic queen is a phrase that you can type into Google or Amazon, and you can find replacement sheets. You could choose to get a replacement mattress. It's a real size. It's not some made up fairy tale bed size like the RV industry loves to provide you. But the thing with this is we're not even halfway done with the bedroom storage. We wanted even the space under the bed to be functional. If you lift up most RV manufacturer beds, a lot of times there's just like a big old square or rectangle of storage under, and that's fine. It's not like it's not useful at all. We just wanted it to be more. What if you didn't have to lift the bed to always get to the storage? What if you had on each side of the bed a drawer for like socks and underwear or something like that? Very few travel trailers, especially this size, will tend to dedicate really good storage like that. But then we have everything that's going on between those two dresser stands, and there's even more function you can get out of it yet. Because there's three things under here I think you're going to like. You have two of these totes that actually, if you notice, they're designed to be indoor-outdoor totes with cup holders integrated into the lids. So you could take one, you could throw them away. You don't have to use them. But it gives you, again, options on how you want to use this. And the RV will include a 2-foot by 4-foot picnic table. Here's the thing, though. You see where these black totes are sitting? Those are load-bearing, weight-bearing seats, effectively. If you really wanted to, you could actually set up shop and essentially almost use the bed kinda like a dinette or a desk or something. I'm not saying it counts as a dinette or a desk. That's a square peg in a round hole, but it could work. It's different, but in a small space like this, sometimes you got to get creative. Now, again, we wanted to make sure some base critical functions were there, like comfort and privacy, including that. You see how there's that curtain next to the TV box. We wanted you to have at least the option of closing this off. Now, straight across from the sofa is your television. Now, a lot of builders who make this floor plan, your TV is up and to the left of the seat. We wanted to make sure the TV was straight across from you. I think we accomplished that nicely. But you see that pocket below the TV? That was originally slated to be like a Bluetooth soundbar or something like that, and the RV is supposed to have outside speakers. We essentially did away with all of that because we asked the question, should RVs have integrated stereos? And the overwhelming voice of the people was no. If people want stereos or something, they'll bring their own Bluetooth speakers. So what we did is instead of building a soundbar into it, we left the pocket there, but we included some household outlets in that shadowy little cavity back there. So you potentially could convert that into like a little charging shelf. Now, I want to talk about countertops real quick because there's something that I don't know that a lot of people realize, and I haven't really talked about it much on camera before. There's a difference between thermofoil capped countertops, which is what you find a lot in the industry today that are less expensive, and the true original fully sealed thermofoil countertops that you're looking at here. These do not have raw exposed open wood. So spills, humidity, those things don't have a way to get into that wood to break down the glue and to cause the thermofoil countertop to peel off. Basically, something would have to hit the countertop hard enough to cause it to crack to allow that moisture to get in there. I'm not saying that's impossible, but we wanted to put a little bit better, longer lasting solution in here. Now, again, normally this floor plan will have a theater seat, and we have that table where if you want to pull the table over in front of the sofa to have some Dynofa action, I'll actually give you a little sample of that in a minute. You got it. But it also includes the handy little dining bar area right there, which isn't necessarily for everybody. But the fact is, you can get a lot of use and function out of that thing without needing to necessarily wrestle a table out. So the countertop is big enough if you want to just if you want to set up some laptop shop over there or something like that, you got a perfect little place to do it. Also, we wanted to include a bunch of other, again, daily function features in this, like giving you a dedicated place to put a roll of paper towels when you get to your campsite. Just simple solutions like that. Garbage can solutions. Actually, hold on. Let me back up. I'm talking about stuff instead of showing you, and there's so much I'm excited about on this RV. It's the same floor plan that everybody else has been making for a decade. But I'm so excited about so many of the extra little details that we've included with it. Now, just because we do happen to be looking at a hide-a-bed today, I feel it's kind of my job to sort of showcase everything for you here. Although, again, my understanding is actual production models will switch over to a theater seat, and it will be cuddle compliant. It's not going to have some big hard fixed armrest in the middle blocking you from getting to stuff. And again, you have that table. You can use it inside, outside, upside down. You could jump off the top rope and do a WWE atomic leg drop on that sucker, brother. Whatever you feel like doing. After you buy it, I don't care. Before you buy it, it's ours. Don't break it. Carpetless, floor flush, and that's a rack and pinion slide. We asked the question, what slide system would you prefer? The massive majority of people said rack and pinion. We made it happen. And with the taller 6'9" ceiling that we're rocking here, you actually have more headroom in there. So when you stand up, you're less likely to hit your head. And that creates really cool opportunities over here for more and or better storage. One of the other things I like about this camper has two really good pantries. And apparently Casper the Ghost is using the force and closing that freezer door on that 12-volt compressor fridge for us. So that's cool. But yeah, but also, something that we're going to have in every Go Explore is an actual trash can solution. If you watch my videos, how often have you heard me say they didn't give us a spot for a wastebasket? Well, a lot of people said, we agree. That's a very important feature. So when we did our Go Explore campers here, we wanted to make sure that's a feature that we accommodated. Now, by your seating over here, you got a little like cell phone kind of charging pocket holder kind of thing, or magazine rack. I don't know. Depends on what you want to do with it. I'll see if I can remember to showcase for you, but on the bottom kitchen cabinetry next to the door, there's actually another one of those right by the control panel. So you have a good spot to like put your keys and stuff right there. Let me see if I can give you like a slow 360 sweeping view of this stuff, as it were. I think I mentioned, but yeah, pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry, hidden hinges, magnet holdbacks. Like, chances are, for the most part, if somebody was making a list of things that they would want, that's what we tried to include on this. We also wanted to make sure things like your power management system, your converter panel, your fuses, they're easy to access, but they're also out of the way. So if you do have a guest over who doesn't know what they're looking at, they don't accidentally end up mucking with your stuff or anything like that. Now, the kitchen, some really solid drawer space here. I love the two normals and then one big for those awkward large size items. And although the execution of it might vary in different models,
making sure that we have some good spaces for big bulky stuff like pots and pans or air fryers that you don't want to leave on the countertop the whole time. We're trying to be very storage conscious. And if you remember, Garrett, could you put on the bottom of the screen the cargo capacity, the empty weight, the weights of the RV? This thing has shockingly good cargo capacity for no bigger than it is. Something else people have asked for a long time is better stovetop splash guards. Now, this floor plan, because the stovetop is not mounted directly up next to a refrigerator, is less of an issue. But we still came up with a solution for when you're not using the sink covers. You have a way to get them out of the way, and your feedback is the reason they're split. Originally, we were going to make that a one-piece sink cover, and we asked the question, should it be split or one piece? A bunch of people said it should definitely be split. It's more useful that way. And a lot of people said they wanted to go with plastic versus wood. So we went with a split plastic over a one-piece wood based on viewer input. So if that's the right call, congratulations, pat yourselves on the back. And if it's not, tell us what we should be doing instead. You might notice also it's not a peekaboo I smell you door, and it does actually lock, so you can keep yourself a little more comfortable and private in here. Now, this is going to be our only floor plan in the Go Explore lineup that has a radius shower. Just with the space allowances, it's what we had to go with. It's not my favorite. I was very much banging the drum. Let's not have any radius showers in our lineup, but this one floor plan was deemed to be the exception to the rule, although I do really like that window in there. Now, I don't love the fact that this is open face, but if you notice, there's about a 3-knuckle deep wooden cross beam that goes around there to help keep stuff in place. So it should do the trick. And kind of like we saw in the slide fascia, some extra hooks in the bathroom on that nice little decorative board there, just to give everything a place to go. Now, we're in the production preview model. It does not yet have it installed, but all Go Explorers will have the big XL fume fighting fan as opposed to the dollar store 4-inch fart fan. So the big XL bathroom fan. Now, take a look over on the right side of the screen. This being 6 foot tall from floor to ceiling, I can actually stand in that shower. But being a radius shower, some people feel it's a little bit of an elbow issue. Now, if you notice in the mirror, I do talk with my hands a lot while I speak. I'm a massive Heinz 57 of just about everything European in descent. So maybe I have some sort of Italian bloodline right there. That's where my talk with the hand things come from. I got to say, this RV is just about perfect right here. Anyway, moving on from there, I think you get the general idea. It's a lot of, I think, smart features and smart user-friendly functional equipment on a very popular, familiar floor plan. A lot of F's and alliteration in there. And although that slide gets in our face real awful fast, one of the cool things about this floor plan, it works just so well. There's just enough room here where if you need to sneak around that countertop and get up to the bed, this RV remains extremely travel functional. Now, a lot of manufacturers, when they give you these like stools for like a dining bar, they don't give you a place to put them. What a lot of manufacturers actually do when they ship the RVs is they put them on the floor, but they don't give you a place to secure them in transit. That is a mistake we did not want to make, so that when you are roller quaking down the road, the chairs aren't jiggle banging all over in your camper, and either the finish on the chairs is getting scarred and marred, or they're smashing into your woodwork in your RV. Both of those solutions suck. So we did something to prevent it. And that's the kind of just small, stupid little, hey, how is a person actually going to use this camper kind of mentality that we wanted to put into this? There's no question about it. The refrigerator is certainly easily accessible, and the bathroom is straight in front of us, when you open the door. So the only thing that you really can't use in this RV in road mode is the sofa. Because it's a rack and pinion slide, they don't like it when you try to sit in them unless they are fully extended. So that's true of almost anybody who builds this layout, though. So overall, I think the road mode is, we'll call it, say, like a B+. I don't know that I'm going to give it an A, but it's pretty good. And I think one of the best parts about this floor plan and model and design and size and all that is the fact that it's not so long that towing it is super scary, and it's not so heavy that you need a monster truck to do it. Actually, the RV itself only tips the scales at about 5,600 pounds. Now that's where most, say, like salespeople at most dealerships, that's where they're going to stop talking. I want you to understand the GVW of this is a little bit over 7,600 pounds. So you're going to want to make sure that you have, say, like an 8,000 pound plus tow rating to be able to safely handle this RV. And the higher you are above that number, the better. Now, if you're doing the math, that means this thing has about 2,000 pounds of cargo capacity on this little RV. That is awesome. That means that even if you pack real, look at these guys running away in the distance like, oh no, we're wanted by the FBI. Don't catch us. That's one of those is my partner in crime over there. Anyway, what I'm getting at is basically you can actually pack real heavy on this and not have to worry about overloading it. Magnet holdbacks, slam latches. That is a viewer preferred kind of thing. And again, one of our feature function, like basic, like you're going to need this kind of things is, let me guess, unless you are always camping at a nudist colony, you probably wore clothes yesterday. So now you have a place to put them. It's just the little stuff like that. And of course, it can collapse up out of the way when you're not using it. And if it's out of the way, it gives you easier access to those pegboard organizers right there. And I'll give you a better look at what I'm about to describe to you in just a second. But did you notice that black tube up at the very top of the front passenger compartment? It's nothing flashy or fancy. It's effectively just a giant, black plastic tube. But it's what you can do with it. It doesn't always have to be flashy or fancy. It doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to freaking work. And that's what this thing is. That is, it could be a fishing pole holder. It could be a golf club holder to save yourself from a gas station murder hobo. It could be, I don't know. What would you use it for? I'm kind of curious, I'm very curious to see what people come up with for uses on that little tube thing right there. Now, that black box I looked at on the tongue, it's basically a battery disconnect on steroids. It prevents parasitic load from eating up your batteries, but also the solar package that's factory standard on here will always trickle charge your battery while it's in storage, assuming the solar panel has access to the sun, of course. We included some little pooch perfect kind of solutions here. We got the little removable kind of dog dish trays that actually just attach right there onto the tongue of the RV. But the mounting rail, you might notice, it's far enough back, it doesn't interfere with your weight distribution hitches. They stay out of the way so you don't have problems. And speaking of pooch stuff, you got the doggy leash latches on the front and rear compartments there. Now, up in the front of this thing, you can see that we are inverter prepped. We're about to have a little lights on moment going on right there. Your charge controller's in the bottom left corner, and that other switch right there next to it, that's actually your awning switch. So you can open the awning from inside or outside of the RV. And this is using Asdel under the fiberglass skin. If you've never seen a sidewall cutaway, we may actually start including samples of those with our Go Explore RVs, just to help you kind of get to see what's under the skin of those aluminum frame laminated walls right there. Now, wrapping our way up front again, we got the pegboards. Did you notice how we actually included some of the hooks for you? We've got that that tube that I mentioned, which you could potentially use to help keep some jack cranks out of the way, or you could use those hooks for the pegboards to keep them organized. There's no wrong way. It's just whatever you want to do with it. Now, we are prepped for several things. We're prepped for TPMS right here, but we're also prepped for backup camera and roof ladder are all things that are available. Now, this is another one of those things. It hurts nothing by being here, but you could do some other things with it. It's basically like a little drain tub, a little wet bay functional space. Or like if you have bathing suits or something like that, or if you want to fill it full of ice and keep some drinks in there, you can pull that little stopper so the water just dribbles out and nothing gets harmed that way. There's just a bunch of different fun ways that you could use that, or not. Nothing says you have to use it like a beer cooler. You just could if you so choose to do, What do you think of the general look of this? I know that white, black, silver is not exactly earth-shattering, new and cutting-edge looking, but I'm happy with the way this thing looks. I think it looks very, very slick myself, but that's just my 2 cents. By the way, speaking of looks, did you notice the AC shroud is actually white on these? That's just one of those things to help keep the air conditioner running at better efficiency, and the AC shroud won't get chalky and fade out like a black one tends to. Now, here's the thing that's missing. Speakers on the outside, and that is by design. I have asked this question 100 million zillion times. Do you want outside speakers in an RV? And it wasn't 100%, but the overwhelming majority of people said get the speakers out of the camper. They don't sound good. They create potential warranty areas. They're potential leak points. Get them out. So we did. Your feedback did that. But it wasn't always based on someone's feedback. Sometimes we just looked at how people camped. We literally took some trips just to drive through campgrounds and it sounds creepy when I say this, but basically just camp stalk people and watch how you camp. And what we noticed is usually tied to the entry door handle was like a Walmart bag or something like that people would use for garbage. We realized that RVs don't usually give people an outside garbage solution. That's what this is. You can get one of those like hefty bags, you slide it down in there, you pull it tight, and now you have a built-in trash space outside that also has a handy little bottle pop opener on there. We're going to call it soda pop. Obviously, it could be more of a barley pop. But what if you don't want this thing over here? I've never tried to do this one-handed. All right, we're doing it. There you go. So this is just called a key block system. Basically, it's just a generic mounting point, and there is an entire world of accessories. Sorry, the camera work got sketchy there. I was trying to set that down without like dropping it and going clang. Anyway. If you don't want your garbage hanging off the side of the RV, we have a backup solution for you. Give us just a moment and we'll get there. The entry steps have a way to keep your shoes. A lot of people have a no shoes in the camper policy. I totally get it. You trek a ton of dirt through the RV. Like I'm walking through a factory, not even walking through dirt, and I'm tracking dirt in the camper constantly. As was evident by my footprints in the shower. Giving you a place to keep your shoes tucked right into the steps out of the way, I think it's really smart. And if you don't like it, take them off. No big deal. I am right next to what I think is maybe the heater unit of this building, and it is making a heck of a screeching racket. So hopefully that's not too awful annoying. Now remember how I said if you don't want your garbage hanging off the side of the camper, you have a backup solution. And this was based on your feedback. One of our viewers said, I'd prefer to have it off the back. Well, again, it's just a key block mount. You could put that back here if you want, but we are including the little garbage bag holder and the towel drying rack or the bathing suit drying rack from the factory for you. But here's the thing: there are it's a very conservative thing to say there are dozens of accessories you can get for a key block mount. There's little basketball hoops. There's lights. There's speakers. There's a bunch of different things that you can get for these. So by basically just outfitting the RV with the key block mounts, we have allowed this to be very personalized on the outside function spaces of the RV, but still providing from the factory some very useful functions that I think reasonably we can predict a lot of people are going to need and are going to use. Now, one thing like I didn't get my way on, when we were conceptualizing this product, I really wanted to get it outfitted with Goodyear radials. And that didn't happen, or at least it hasn't happened yet. I'm going to keep banging on that drum. Basically what I was kind of advised is it would run somewhere between $400 to $600. But I feel like that's juice that's worth its squeeze. Let me ask you folks at home, is $400 to $600 for Goodyear tires versus import tires, is that worth it to you? I don't know. Leave me a note, let me know. Little things too, like including ways to keep your sewer stuff better contained and organized. Like the organizational aspect of the RV doesn't stop just because we left the front passenger compartment, just because we stepped outside. It persists all the way through the RV. This floor plan, by the way, is a single-headed sewer monster. It's a single crap tap, if you will. And I don't have my keys on me. I left those an hour away at home, but that is an extra pocket that basically we built in an extra storage compartment into the skirting of the RV just to give you more ways to keep a bunch of that, like, sewer bayonet hose. Oh God, what am I stepping at? Oh shoot. Live from New York, it's Saturday night. I'm over here tripping on rolls of copper. I tell you what, they better not let any meth heads know all this copper's over here. It's going to start going for, a quarter on the dollar at the, I can't believe I said that. Oh, well. I'll get another letter from HR. It's okay. I joke about that, but HR doesn't write me letters. They're actually pretty cool and just leave me alone. I like my company.
So leave us a note. Let us know what you think about our Go Explore series in general and this model over here. Now, again, this is not the only floor plan of its kind out there. I'm going to leave you links to at least a couple, if not a bunch of other builders who have done some similar layouts like this, like let's see, Delta, Rockwood, I mean, name it. Everybody's got some kind of version of a floor plan like this, and they're all good in different ways. Which one would you go with and why? Would it be a Go Explore? Would it be something else? Let us know. And speaking of that, you're probably curious, maybe, what one of these things might set you back. I'll leave you some links down there to double check pricing and availability. So when you're ready, we're ready. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.